In the first generation of Pokemon, Game Freak started a tradition that they have still maintained to this day, namely, creating Pokemon that have multiple heads. While some of these Pokemon are immensely unpopular among Pokemon fans, there are also some that are quite awesome and likable. For today's top 5, we're going to be looking at some of these Pokemon, and I've brought a friend along to help me out.
Hey everyone, it's SciStatics here, and today Sylph and I are going to be counting down the top 5 multi-headed Pokemon. To create this list, we took into consideration both the Pokemon's design and their capabilities in the singles competitive battling metagame. Keep in mind that we made this top 5 based on our opinions. Make sure to let us know your favorite multi-headed Pokemon in the comments below. Without any further ado, let's go to number 5. Take it away, Sylph.
Starting this list off at number 5 is Magnezone. Now, let me clear this up. I have definitely come out against Magneton's design in the past, but that's sort of exactly why I like this thing. Magnezone certainly has a more creative and coherent design. It has multiple heads stemming from the 3 heads that Magneton had, yes, but they're not just copies of each other, and that's why I think it kind of fixed the problem Magneton had, aesthetically speaking. Not only did Magnezone do this for Magneton's design, but it also gave it a huge buff competitively speaking. Magnezone of course has great typing with 11 resistances, 1 immunity, and only 3 weaknesses. Its base stats are also pretty darn good, with its most notable being a massive 130 in special attack and 115 in physical defense. Magnezone's also got 3 great abilities to choose from. Analytic raises the power of its moves by 30% if it moves last, which it's most likely going to since it has low speed. Magnet Pull traps any opposing Steel-type Pokemon and prevents them from switching so that you can take them out, and Sturdy of course allows it to survive any move that would have otherwise been a one-hit KO. Top all of this off with Magnezone's amazing move pool, with moves like Thunderbolt, Flash Cannon, Volt Switch, and Thunder Wave, and you've got a multi-headed Pokemon that serves as a big threat in the OU tier.
Number 4 on our list is Executor. Executor is an interesting Pokemon because the number of heads it has depends on the form it's in. In its Kanto form, Executor is Grass and Psychic typing with 3 heads, while in its Alolan form, it has an additional head on its tail, possibly due to its new Dragon type. Better yet, when one of the Executor heads gets too big, it falls off to help form a new Execute. Circle of life, eh? In the competitive scene, Executor is a powerful attacker with access to Giga Drain, Psychic, and Leaf Storm, and the ability Chlorophyll, which doubles its speed stat into the sun, which is awesome since its speed isn't really great to begin with. Executor's got an amazing special attack, and its Alolan form gets a buff in physical attack, so it can become a great mixed attacker because of this, and additional access to moves like Draco Meteor, Flamethrower, Woodhammer, and Dragon Hammer. However, the Alolan form, like its regular form, is super slow, and faster wall breakers are able to strike down this coconut tree since both of its forms have quite a lot of weaknesses. But overall, it's certainly a great and diversified multi-headed Pokemon.
In the 3rd spot for the bronze medal, we have none other than Weezing. Now, one of the main critiques that a lot of these multi-headed Pokemon get is that they're kind of unoriginal, since of course they're just copies of each other. But in my opinion, Weezing definitely doesn't fit into this category. Not only do Weezing's heads look different from one another, but unlike a lot of multi-headed Pokemon, Weezing's heads actually make sense. Weezing is of course based on a toxin of some sort, or maybe a bacteria. Now of course, what do bacteria do? They multiply and develop mutations, which is exactly what it looks like happened with Weezing. I think it's a very creative design. In addition to its design, Weezing is also a very underrated Pokemon in competitive battling. Weezing's got great base stats with a whopping 120 in defense and some solid physical and special attack stats, surprisingly enough. It's also got the Levitate ability, meaning one of the few types it would normally be weak to, ground, doesn't affect it at all. Weezing can be used in many ways, but of course fulfills its role best as a physically defensive or support Pokemon. With moves like Sludge Bomb, Will-O-Wisp, Toxic Spikes, Pain Split, Taunt, and others, Weezing can be a surprisingly challenging Pokemon to face, and that's why it takes number 3.
Number 2 on our list is Dodrio. Dodrio has 3 heads just like the Cantonian Executor, but each head has their own heart, lungs, and brain, which makes this Pokemon extremely efficient when performing tasks. It is extremely popular in the anime as a form of travel. In the competitive scene, Dodrio is a glass cannon whose speed was actually given a 10-point buff in Gen 7, which means it has a great 100 attack and a solid 110 speed. Dodrio is capable of dealing a lot of damage in a short period of time, with stab moves such as Double Edge and Brave Bird, and also has great access to great utility moves such as Knock Off and Sword Stance. Aside from its low defenses, Dodrio also unfortunately doesn't have the greatest abilities, but it is definitely underrated and often forgotten when compared with its Generation 1 bird counterparts.
And coming in at the number 1 spot, the best multi-headed Pokemon in our opinion is Hydreigon. Now, not much has to be said about this thing's design. It looks absolutely incredible and is probably one of the best looking Pokemon in the entire franchise. Its Dark and Dragon typing is really unique, and its base stats are incredible, with its very lowest stat being its defense and special defense with a base stat of 90, which is still amazing. While certainly not as good as some other dragons out there, Hydreigon is definitely a threat in the metagame with amazing stab moves such as Draco Meteor and Dark Pulse, and some tricks up its sleeve like Defog, U-Turn, and Roost. Add the Levitate ability in there and you've got a massive threat that needs to be considered in whatever tier it's currently in, which for now is underused. This thing is most certainly the best multi-headed Pokemon in our opinion. Well, we've now completed this top 5, everyone. But wait, we're not done yet. Appearing on your screen right now will be the video that Sci and I did on his channel, so make sure to check it out and show him some love. As always, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, comment down below with your favorite multi-headed Pokemon, and subscribe if you're new here. See you guys next time on our second video.